Alright, welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing transmission. This is Mr. BDA with you. I just wanted to make a little transmission here regarding Canelo's punishment for having tested positive for clenbuterol this past February. Or what was it, March, February? I forget. Point is, 6-month suspension handed down by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The suspension is retroactive, meaning Canelo is eligible to fight as soon as August 17th, which probably means he'll be fighting on the weekend of Mexican Independence Day on September. And you know that that's a coveted date for big stars because that's when Mexicans are celebrating and during the weekend and they love to watch boxing. It's a big date. A lot of people want that thing. So what a coincidence, you know, before this whole thing, before this sentence was given, if you want to call it a sentence, I was thinking, man, this Nevada State Athletic Commission is really... I'm surprised they're holding a hearing. I'm surprised they're going to do something about it. It really shows balls from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. You would have thought they were going to protect Canelo Alvarez. Well, turns out I wasn't exactly wrong. None of us were, really. I mean, a 6-month suspension retroactive, meaning he can fight in about 4 months. And I'm looking at the article from Ring Magazine, or Ring TV rather. There is no mention of a fine, any penalty for what he did. Just that he's not fighting for 4 months. He can't fight for 4 months. Now compare that to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. when he was suspended and fined close to $1 million after the Sergio Martinez fight. He had tested positive for, what is this here, marijuana. Tested positive for marijuana. Now look, if you want to check out Precise Punch's video, he made a video asking the question or looking at the issue of whether marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug. There's a couple of schools of thought on that, but check out the video and you tell me. But that's not the point. The point is, he was fined close to $1 million, this Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and suspended for 9 months. Raimundo Beltran, when he tested positive for stanozolol, 9 months and fined $25,500, which is 30%, as you can see, of his $85,000 purse after he knocked out, what was his name? Takashi Ao. I think that's his name. Listen, I don't want to get into names right now. I want to talk about this Canelo thing. Because you see, there's a bit of a double standard here. And now we all knew it. Now maybe some of you are thinking, well, BDA, what'd you expect? Did you really think that we're going to hand down a big sentence, a negative, really impactful sentence on Canelo? Of course. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I got a little too hopeful. Maybe we all did. Those that actually thought Las Vegas was going to do something about it. The point is this. Canelo is probably going to fight in September. And here's the problem. Golovkin still wants that payday. It's the big payday. It's the biggest payday out there for him. So you can't blame him for wanting that. Especially since if Canelo was indeed on something when he fought Golovkin the first time, Golovkin is pretty confident that no matter what Canelo is on, he'll still be able to beat him. Just like he did the first time. If you don't count the draw decision that the judges gave. But here's the problem. Canelo, according to Boxing Scene, let me put it up right here. VADA says Canelo is not currently enrolled in testing program. He's not being tested. Now, if you know anything, there you go. If you know anything about drug testing, you know that it's pretty advanced, the cheating that's going on in sports. Whether it's in track and field or other Olympic sports, boxing, MMA, whatever, they're pretty advanced. And if you're just testing 2 weeks or 2 months prior to the fight, there's all sorts of ways that these people can circumvent the test. They know how to work the cycles. So that when you get into the fight, there's no traces of anything in your system, but you're getting the benefits, right? If you've read a little bit or anything about performance-enhancing drugs, you know that that's how it works. And Canelo is currently not being tested. Why do you think that is? Because if he's planning on fighting in September, and he's indeed using drugs, let's say he's indeed using PEDs, because we can't say that he's still using them, that would be libel, that would be illegal, that would be criminal. But if he is indeed using something, then he's probably on it right now. Because again, he's going to be training for a fight in September against Golovkin. You think he's going to walk in there with his cock half hard without his PEDs? No, he's going to go at it the way he's always done. And look, we've talked about this before over in the podcast over at BDA Live. Canelo has probably been on something for a couple of years. I mean, you look at his body build, he doesn't look like a boxer. He looks like one of those, you know, CrossFit slash MMA fighters. A lot of muscle mass, which isn't desirable for boxing because it takes up a lot of oxygen and it wears you down. Canelo, however, he's always had, you know, big muscles, but especially the last 3 years, he's grown quite big. And that is something that is bizarre. Now, when it comes to Canelo's attitude, look, let's say you want to absolve him from the bad decision on September. Because again, he didn't pay the judges directly or anything like that, if indeed there was any foul play. So okay, let's absolve him of that. But how about what Artorius Boxing, check out his channel where he made that video where you see Canelo's hand wraps prior to the Golovkin fight. He's having his hand wraps wrapped in the dressing room, and they look incredibly thick, abnormally thick. And of course, Abel Sanchez later went out and said that he had complained to the commission, but the commission didn't want to do anything about it. Liam Smith apparently complained about it. Or actually, if I remember correctly, there was another video of Canelo with those big-ass hand wraps. And of course, Arislan Delara and Ronnie Shields' team complained about the hand wraps during their fight, or a couple of hours before the actual fight against Canelo. So he's using, it would appear to be he's using illegal hand wraps. And then, of course, you have the clenbuterol test. But let's talk about the attitude that Canelo has, which is that he's making this whole thing out to be Golovkin's fault. He's making it out to be as if Golovkin is the one with the problem, as if Golovkin should have shut his mouth, kept his mouth shut, and not made a big fuss about this whole clenbuterol positive test. And then, of course, he says, well, Golovkin, I don't have to prove anything to Golovkin. How come you don't have anything to prove? The commission, which is favorable to you, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, just suspended you, which means you are guilty. You were found guilty of using something. And then he has the gall to say that Golovkin is the problem, and that he doesn't have to prove anything to Golovkin. And then he goes, well, Golovkin is the one that kept bringing this up because he's scared of me. I'm just trying to illustrate here the mentality of a cheater. Because if you're using performance-enhancing drugs, and I've said this before, look, using performance-enhancing drugs in baseball, track and field, all right, it's bad, it's cheating, it's illegal, but at least you're not hurting anybody. If you want to give it that, positive spin on it, at least you're not hurting anybody. Boxing, you're hurting somebody. You could potentially kill or inflict some long-term injury on your opponent. And here comes Canelo Alvarez, probably using something, knowing he's using. I mean, do you really think this guy walks around gaining, from 2011 to now, gaining, I don't know, about 15 pounds of muscle, and he thinks that's natural? But anyway, that's my little rant about this whole thing. It's really a testament to PEDs. I mean, we all know that PEDs are rampant in all sports, but it just goes to show you, again, if you're the A side, you're not gonna get anything. And I mean, he didn't even get a slap on the wrist. It was a pinch on the wrist. All right. So, I mean, we all knew it, but this is just another instance of this type of stuff happening. And we'll see what happens in the rematch, if indeed there is a rematch. I'll tell you the truth, ever since this whole thing came out, the rematch has been kaput for me. I'm not really all that interested. There's better fights out there. But it's still, listen, at the end of the day, I gotta be honest here, if the rematch does indeed happen, I'm still gonna watch it. Because I'm a boxing junkie, degenerate scumbag, and I'll watch anything that's related to boxing. Hey, I even said I wasn't gonna watch Mayweather-McGregor, and I ended up watching it. Because it's boxing. Can't walk away from it. All right, so you guys tell us, I mean, is this Canelo thing, this suspension, too much, not enough? Were you surprised, unsurprised? Did you see it coming? Are you still looking forward to the rematch? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to BDA Live as well, where we hold a live podcast. That's another channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Second Renaissance as well, or the third channel where we talk non-boxing. And we'll see you in the next one, folks. Take care.